Alright, this has to be our last day moving. We've literally been doing this for 3 days. My entire break has been doing this, but let's check out the progress. Guys, I found my high school Letterman jacket. This is the one I got from band. So I just got the FM, class of 2017. This truck is filled to the brim. Alright, now I'm setting up my desk setup. I got this iMac monitor and I'm going to try and hook it up to my laptop so I can have a little bit of a bigger screen when I'm editing. But this is going to take a little bit of a second. Ready? Alright, right now we are in the middle of moving, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of a mess. Are we both vlogging today, bro?
Yes.
It's a Chae Brothers vlogging type of day. Guys, I literally just bought a new camera. Why is photography so expensive? I know I literally just made a video about gear, but I ended up winning this bid on eBay, so I just got the Sony a7 III. It's going to be coming in the mail pretty soon. I'm pretty hyped for it. I've been shooting on that Sony a7S for a minute now, but I've decided to switch up the entire setup. Right now we have to go to Best Buy because I have to go pick up some things for my new room, but it's freezing. Why is it so cold in Texas right now? I thought I came out of the south to get out of the cold, but Dallas, you're letting me down.
Vloggers nowadays.
Vloggers.
So annoying.
Don't know how to act and fluff with. Alright, number one tip for shopping in store, always check if they have Amazon price match or any other type of price matching, because if you find the same or cheaper price, then they're going to give you that same exact price. We're gonna check if this is on Amazon. Alright, it's the same exact price on Amazon Prime, so honestly I don't think I'm gonna get this one, but I will probably get one of the light bulbs. Anyways, today we're talking about some last minute college advice for your applications. I know that the deadline is coming up. It's probably November 1st or December 1st, so I racked my brains and found a few tips that were actually applicable for myself when I was going through the application process, and I think it would be helpful for you guys as well. We're gonna talk about it throughout the day, so make sure to stay tuned. So I get a lot of questions, comments, DMs asking about my best tips for college applications and anything I guess I would tell my younger self when I was applying. But to be honest, I think the biggest and most important thing that you need to remember throughout the entire process is that you just need to be yourself. And the reason that I emphasize this is that looking back, I realized that college admission counselors aren't looking for some bullshit or facade of the person they think they want you to be, but more so the person that you actually are and the person that you've become over your years in high school. Now, what I mean by this in terms of your actual content of your essay is don't try and fake a story if it didn't happen or exaggerate certain parts. Like, find something genuine, find something authentic in your life that actually brought value to you or taught you something, and then use that to tell your story of how you learned from that or how it taught you something that you had never known before. I think being yourself is going to be one of the most important aspects of your entire application, because college admission counselors are looking for people who are breaking out of the mold and people who are unconventional in the ways that they think and the ways that they do things, because nowadays people aren't looking for the superficial Asian guy with straight 4.0 valedictorian. That's great and all, but they want to see that you went out of your comfort zone, did things that not a lot of people are doing, which is why I wrote my application about being a photographer and how photography kind of changed my life and showed me how I could be an entrepreneur and what that journey was like. So if you find something meaningful in your life and are able to connect it with the application process, and that's going to stand out a lot more than people who are just writing pretty generic stories. So just be authentic and be genuine, and I think that's going to be the most helpful tip of this entire video. Alright, the second thing that you should remember when you're going through your college applications is right about now is the best time to get your applications and your essays reviewed. Now, one of my friends from church who is applying as a senior right now just sent over his essay for me to check out, and I just went over it, gave him a few comments, helped him revise some stuff, and asking for help is probably the most productive thing that you can do, because because you'll have other sets of eyes looking over your essays, because you sat behind that computer for hours looking at the same words over and over again, that some things may not make sense to you if read by someone else. So having other people look over it and help you with revisions and just make things sound more cohesive is going to be a super beneficial tip. I highly recommend starting right now because I'm sure you guys are rushing against your deadlines. So if you haven't already, ask your mom, ask your dad, ask your siblings, and also ask your best friends. They're going to be the people that know you the best and are going to make sure that you're telling your story correctly. We're not allowed to film in here, but
hide the cameras, hide the cameras.
what do we not need batteries? Push, 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 push.
We have some at the house.
Right now we're driving home. We ordered some Wingstop. We're gonna grab some food. Justin, talk to the people. Last minute college application tips.
Put your entire essay into Google Translate and have it read back to you, obviously in the same language, so that way you can hear if there are any like typos or anything, because it's different hearing it versus just like reading it for yourself. So that's what I did for a lot of my essays.
Also guys, I think a very big tip and a common misunderstanding is that less is more, especially when it comes to these common application or just supplemental essays. Like, don't try and fit everything you can into the 650 word limit. They'd rather see a more condensed, a more concise, and straight to the point version of what you're trying to say. So make sure that with all your syntax and your word choices, that everything is very intentional and that you're putting it into the essay for a specific reason, whether it's stylistic or whatever. Also double check all your grammar, make sure that you don't have any typos, especially if you're like copying and pasting between essays for different schools. Make sure that you change the name. That would be really embarrassing if you forgot to change the name for your Harvard application from Columbia. That's all the tips we have for the actual essay part of it, but now we're going to move on to what else you can do after your application process. Alright guys, Wingstop, best place for wings? Yeah. Better than Buffalo Wild Wings? Yeah. Fight me in the comments down below. Alright, study abroad application. Submit. What the fuck? Hey! Done. Submitted my study abroad. Becca, any last minute application tips?
So if you're running short on time, prioritize your tops, put your all into your tops, and then work your way down.
Guys, going off of that, another huge thing is make sure you start your applications on time. You don't want to be submitting anything late. In fact, you can't even submit anything late because if you miss a deadline by 1 minute, then they will not accept your application. So check your deadlines, check your times. Like, you want to make sure that that shit is submitted by midnight at the right time zone. I promise that will screw one of you guys over. So make sure that you check all those deadlines. And like Becca was saying, if you're really crunched on time, and to be honest, right now, it's probably like single choice early action applications, meaning you can only apply to one university early. So really just put all that you have into one application and then worry about finishing the rest when you have a little bit more time after this first deadline. I think that's a really great tip to help you guys stay organized and manage all these applications. Some of you guys may know this, but I actually applied to 14 universities, which is obviously a shit ton. That application process was crazy because I had dozens of essays to write, short answers, supplementals. So it definitely took up a lot of time, but I was smart with it and I planned ahead and I got the priority schools out of the way, and then I was able to make my way down the list of the other schools and just applications that I did, and just make my way down the list through applications that didn't take that much time. So actually right now I just submitted my application for study abroad, which is why I brought up that tip about making sure that you start early and know your deadlines, because this is due tomorrow. So I'm glad I got that out of the way.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, it's November 1st, 9 a.m. I'm currently outside IKEA waiting for the Virgil marker red collection to drop. Alright, so how this drop works is everyone's sitting in line and then they give you a wristband. I'm 153. The first 300 people will get a wristband, and then once you get in, it's basically kind of like a free-for-all. They actually have groups going in already, so hopefully I can get the pieces that I want. I'm gonna be super upset if I waited here for nothing, but shit, look at this line. It's low-key a fashion show. Everyone be dripping out right now. Alright, I made it into the store. It's about 3 minutes before it officially opens. I already got the bigger items that I wanted, so I'll definitely show you what I get after, but right now we're going in for the smaller items. Black Friday came early this year. I'm good for that. I got the pieces. Alright, so I just got home after the drop. I'm gonna do a little bit of an unboxing, see what this is all about. Shout out Virgil, shout out IKEA. Hopefully this is sick. Alright, so when I saw the drop, there were only a couple pieces that I really wanted. None of them really stood out to me, except obviously, first off, the Mona Lisa. This is a crazy piece. It's honestly pretty big for the price. This was about $99. But the cool thing about this is that it's actually backlit illuminated, so there's gonna be like an LED light on it. After that, I copped this bag that's a sculpture. This is honestly like pretty heavy duty. It's definitely a lot bigger than a tote bag, but it'll be pretty versatile and I can definitely find a use for it. Honestly, the best bang for the buck piece of the entire thing was definitely this clock. It went for about like $48, but it says temporary, and it's honestly a pretty big clock in this nice white colorway. I'm definitely gonna hang it up like above my TV or something. And then definitely the biggest piece was this wet grass rug. I really wasn't sure that I was gonna get it, but there were limited quantities, so first I just decided to pick it up, and then if I want to sell it later on, I definitely can, but I didn't have a rug in my room anyway, so I thought this would be a good addition. We're gonna open it up, I'm gonna set it up, and then we're gonna see how it looks. Alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I know it's not that long, but I wanted to get this one out because I know the deadlines are approaching. But the last tip I want to leave you guys with is, honestly, as big as college applications are, they really aren't the end of the world. My motto and my mantra going through this process was, everything happens for a reason and I'll end up where I need to be. So I hope you guys take that to heart and realize that genuinely at the end of the day, no matter what schools you get accepted or rejected to, you will have a great time, you will make new friends, you will have some great experiences, and you will learn so much. Like, trust me guys, I literally got rejected from all my top schools and I was devastated at first, but things ended up working. I got off the wait list at Princeton and I'm more than grateful to be where I am today. So all in all, I hope my experiences and my tips were helpful to you guys. I know it's pretty last minute, but I just wanted to put something out for you. So as many of you guys know, I actually wrote an entire ebook talking about the college application process called Crash Course College Coaching. This is something my friends and I developed after senior year, and it's written by students from a variety of different universities with a bunch of different backgrounds. We each wrote chapters on things like extracurriculars or joining fraternities and sororities, or what it's like to be a student athlete or going down the pre-med track. So there's a ton of content to cover. I genuinely think it will be very helpful if you are struggling with the college application process, because trust me, I've been there. I know what it was like being the first kid to go through that. So I just wanted to write something that would be helpful for you guys. Right now it's just going to be on a heavily discounted sale. I just want to share this with you guys and make sure that you guys are getting it for the best price right now. So if you head to the link in my description, it's already going to be discounted, so feel free to check it out if you haven't already. And to those who have purchased it, thank you for the support. It means a lot. If you guys want a version 2 or a video series, drop a comment down below and I can definitely make that in the works. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. I know that it's a change of scenery because I actually moved into my new house, like I said, but as always, drop a comment down below if you enjoyed this one, subscribe for more videos, and don't stress, finesse. Peace.